Okay, what do we see wrong at the front of this room? Pass the mic down. Somebody talk.
It's tilted.
What?
The screen is tilted.
It's tilted?
Yes. Like the alignment of the screen.
What room are we in?
Sabine.
The room screen is tilted?
No, the projector screen.
Oh, there's two screens. That's the problem. Why do you think the tripod screen is tilted? Look at the top of it. Anyone. Simon, don't say the answer. We already talked about it. Cameron, don't say the answer. Bilal, what you got?
I think the black pole over there on the left, it's kind of unaligned or something. That should be, if that's fixed, I think it will work.
Why do you think it's unaligned? What's wrong with the other side of it?
On the other side, I see a silver thing small coming outside that black pole.
So what do we say about that screen?
What do we say about it?
Yeah. Is it in a state of repair or a state of disrepair?
It's in a state of disrepair.
Yeah. If we set up something and it doesn't work, do we leave it in the room?
No.
All right. Now, what's this sitting on the table in front of me? I can't hear you. You're not talking into the microphone.
It is a projector.
What's that thing hanging from the ceiling above me?
That would also be a projector.
Did the setup call for two projectors?
I would hope not.
Okay. Then, what's this pile of junk over here against the wall?
I cannot see it at the moment.
I love how we have like a talking stick now.
Yeah.
That pile of junk would be Nomad, I believe.
It's all the
No,
techie.
Packard.
Yeah.
And yeah, techie stuff.
And the Z10 and the digital recorder. We got to find a table to put all this stuff on. So, guys, the reason we left this up.
But technically, we don't typically put wireless units on tables. We usually just leave it either by sound system equipment or behind the projector.
Yeah, but like if you're in Rio and you're using the PV combo head, wouldn't it still be a good idea to put the PV combo head and the wireless unit on a table?
Usually, it's pretty much set it and forget it, and
Yeah.
just stick it behind the projector or the projector screen, and it just isn't seen
Yeah.
by people.
Okay.
And if it has to be, I don't know, since I know we want to, or at least I was under the assumption that we wanted to have people not touch our stuff. Do you want me to start from the beginning so that we can?
Yes.
Okay. So typically we don't have wireless systems as well as the combo head on a table and out in view is because it's mostly like set it and forget it stuff. You set the levels, sounds good, you'll be fine. Mostly because people are just talking through a mic like this right now. And I always felt like it'd be better to put it in a place that where it's either can't be seen or it's just not readily accessible to customers, so they don't feel inclined to go and like touch stuff and possibly break it. So I don't think we really need to incentivize that.
Okay. The point is, we got to look at the rooms when we get done with the setups before we leave them, and think about yourself as a user. If I was a user and I didn't know any better, I'd come in and I'd be like, what the fuck is this? Why are there two screens and two projectors and what's all this shit on the floor? Okay? That's the whole point. Now, before we get started, you guys busted your ass last week in the closet project. As a way of saying thank you, I want to invite everybody to get some pizza before anybody else gets pizza, so we can go all at once to get pizza.
Yeah.
So grab a piece of pizza and we'll break this down up here.
So is that just like found today?
What?
The screen like that?
Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like,
You can't
can I
even.
just slide back in place?
Yeah. All you have to do is slide it back in place. There's supposed to be a nut that locks
This
it.
talking gap is going to make it a pain in the ass to upload. Oh well.
Wait.
And you're still new.
I'd rather have two screens or two projectors.
Yeah.
And walk in and not have any of that stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that, so you've got the important part right. But it's like, I always tell people it's like doing projects, like construction projects at the house. You get 85.
If you eat all the pepperoni, we are not friends anymore.
Well, I got to train my 9-year-old And when you do a project, you still gotta clean up afterwards. And that's kind of like the part you forgot was, it's done, let's go to the next room. And when you're doing that after midnight,
Ooh,
I
Sashi.
get it, man.
How late were you here?
The meeting.
How late were you here last night?
You were here till 4:30 in the morning?
I was messing with the, we're doing this until like 11.
I think it's
Oh,
And then I started.
I was like, I even got out of my lab early and came at 9. So
Yeah.
okay, let's do this. And he was already here before that.
Yeah, I was here like,
And it took 2.5 hours to get one done. Mostly because stage wasn't flipped. We had a big part in that. The whole like get the mult box working on single channel,
Yeah.
and the fact that you know the audio, even the audio guy.
I realized
the
we're
audio guy
recording the
came in
eating session.
And saw that
Oh, wow.
the mics were inverted.
Well, you guys
Yeah.
probably start talking.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take 3.
we're,
I didn't
we
know
need to
sausage
get in
would
touch
be
with
so
them to schedule
popular.
something that's actually training and not troubleshooting, so,
Your cohort.
because that's not what we paid for.
First
Whenever he
mistake,
came in.
trusting others.
So I went over the training sheet again. I've modified a couple of things. So this is everything you went over during training 1, and this is going to be broken into 2 training sessions from now on. This will be training 2, which is going to be next
Dear
Sunday.
YouTube users, I apologize for my eating sounds. Thank you.
Basically, all we're missing, like this is all the Bluebonnet stuff. I've reserved Bluebonnet next Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So you will have plenty of time to go over the rest of this here.
cool.
And,
For this training session, we did this all in Carlisle,
Yeah.
and it seemed to work rather well.
Okay.
Mostly because I was able to give a primer on audio
Yeah.
stuff, and to touch on that some rooms have their own equipment. So that might be a good idea to reserve that room if you can. You can train it. Either that or Rio. one of the two.
I'll try to get
Since Rio
one.
has its own equipment, and I think Rio might actually be more beneficial just to see.
Once it comes time to schedule training 1 again, which is probably going to be in 2 weeks, so that we can get some building crew in, then I'll try to get Carlisle if it's open or Rio.
Also, if you don't know, since you weren't for this training session, that there's a closet, like that shares a wall in this room, that has equipment for these 3 meetings you can use instead of going to the supervisor.
Did you want any of your guys to take these?
That
Sure.
should be all you need.
Yeah.
So,
Right here.
it's like,
You know who you want?
Table from the wall place to a table. And these, I love these rooms, they're so easy to set up.
You can't do anything.
You can have one.
I guess,
You can have one.
Well, you probably wouldn't have that.
You can have
I
one.
was like, I don't know what to put in
You can have.
Okay, Zed should probably be on.
Yeah, you can.
That's probably going to be used by permission. That's probably going to be upstairs.
Luke.
Yeah, but even then, it would probably be like out of the way. Like I think the last time we used it, we had it on a card table.
You can
behind
have one.
stage.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, I guess so.
But the wireless units, that's like
Hey.
that's literally just hit a button it's on, and you control it from somewhere else.
Here's the thing. If that's where you want to sit. If not, I'm not going to pressure you
Projector screen or-
to sit. You can sit where you want.
Did you want speakers?
No.
I was confused with that. It just said Zed. I'm like,
It's just for these.
And it's supposed to have 3 wireless lapels and 1 handheld. But that might have been oversight on my part.
because when I
You know, I can look at that right now.
It's just 2 lapels, 2 turn out.
All right, you guys ready to start?
Yes. Oh, Octavia, you can grab some pizza if you want.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
There's also drinks, I think, under the table. Or they're on the table, okay.
Thank you.
Sashi's stuck in a lab, so he texted me.
That's cool.
Here. The important thing is your grades. I'll wait till
Let's see.
they're done grabbing stuff. Why is there...
Rosebud, whatever, Guadalupe, Duro, San Jack, Baba, Sabine.
Okay, the unofficial title, if you're watching this on the TV, would be Hell Week number 1. Have y'all, who here's worked ACES before?
I like to know.
Yeah, cool. So, As y'all know, last week was very interesting. It was very non-standard since we didn't have night shifts and everybody was here somewhere between 8 and 5. I actually got to see you guys. It was really cool. Hey, what's up? And so we all busted our booties, reworking all the closets. We cleaned, we trashed, we laughed, we cried, we reorganized, we taped, we wrote. It was great. So Monday through Thursday, that's like all we did. So everyone was off Friday. Wolf came in, checked everything out. And here's what he saw the day after we all busted our butts. What's weird about that?
Use the talking stick, boys.
It's right there in front of you.
This doesn't have to be a monologue. I mean, I can wait.
There's 2 now. Please don't get pizza grease on the microphones.
I'm not going to answer my own question. What's weird about this?
It's not on the place where it should be.
Yeah. How can we
area.
tell that it's not in the right place?
It's not in the tape area.
Yeah. I think this is a nice picture. I think this is a nice one. Look, there's everything's on the shelf. Everything's where it should be. So that's awesome. They're all stacked up neatly. This is where it's supposed to be. That's awesome. This is where it's supposed to be.
There is an error there, but I want to talk about that.
Okay.
Use the talking stick.
Oh yeah, let's keep one in the top half.
So this always bugs me because I'm the one who's typically using it all the time.
Oh, right.
Anybody want to take a stab at what it is? It's a little more subtle than a rack of chairs not in place. But anybody care to take a stab at what it is? If anybody's ever been in Bluebonnet with me at some point and have heard me complain about this.
It's not plugged in.
It is not plugged in. That is an electric lift, and it needs to be charged overnight, or else it's going to stall on you, and then you have to go around Bluebonnet with a giant cord, coming out of your ass.
We're going to have to empty them. They get filled up fast.
So, I hate having to have the thing plugged in. It's a pain. I hate having to have that thing plugged in with chairs in the way. It just becomes a whole other obstacle. Please plug it in. All you have to do is make sure it works best if you turn the key to the off position, even like hit the red stopper, and plug it in.
Hey, Brian, is there a cord in there that we could use?
Yes, there is. It's actually in the picture right there.
Oh, wow. That's handy.
Doesn't it say, please plug in the lift right there?
Yes, it does.
Huh, that's cool.
Read the tape.
That you wrote on.
Yeah.
All right, next. Whoa, cool. Everything's hanging up. There's everything's in there. That's awesome.
Maybe we need to find a better place to get those cords though. It needs to find a better place.
Maybe-
Those are a hassle to take off.
Maybe we could find
we're
a better
doing a
place for those
pegboard
cords because it has to take off.
That's true.
Do we want to put a big cord on that wall?
Not on that wall.
I guess
the
Brian can
lift's
tell
gonna
me
be
if
in the
that's
way.
nice.
It's fine.
Okay. Ooh.
Isn't it pretty?
Ah.
Lights aren't just sitting on the floor.
Wait. Okay, what's weird about this? Hold on. There is something weird with this. What is it?
I will pick on you if you don't start picking up the mic and answering.
I'm
Well, Walt's
volunteer.
already talked.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Who else hadn't talked yet?
The extension cords on the podium.
Yeah. Is there any tape on the podium that says extension cords go here?
Now, granted,
Would
I
you-
mean, there isn't a whole lot of space on those pegboards these days.
That's
Once we
true.
get, there'll be a better reason to yell at people for that.
Yeah.
Once we actually have the space to put it somewhere.
That's true.
It's all right. We haven't gotten to the bad part yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Chairs inside. That's cool. Yay.
Broken chairs.
Broken chair where it's supposed to be. Yay. Good deal. Chairs inside where they're supposed to be.
Hey, who worked yesterday?
Technically.
Did they get the wood stuff built around the cord, like in that room?
It was there.
Does that mean it got built or it's still sitting in the corner? Okay.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh man. Ah crap.
Focus.
Please excuse Wolf's
I was walking out of the
picture-taking
building.
skills.
Trying to just do a
Yeah, a little
Ah,
bit.
there's no time.
A little bit.
It was shaking in rage, that's why. There's more than one thing wrong with this. Would anyone care to take a stab at it? Someone take a stab at it.
The card table is out.
Yeah.
What
else? What else is out?
The pipe and drape card.
Yeah. There's a space right here for the card tables, and
This-
there's enough space for it to go back in, because if everything's where it should be, it's super easy to take stuff out.
This is 100% laziness. On Friday, the day after we just did this, I'm not a pleasant person to speak to when I'm unhappy. Don't do this, or I will sit you down in my office and we will talk about why it's unacceptable.
You know how in every class you kind of have to figure out your teacher and figure out your professor to figure out exactly what they want to best succeed? And if you do like a certain thing wrong, they get super peeved at you. One of Wolf's number one pet peeves is stuff that's unorganized. So, yeah. Hey, cool, look. Everything's behind the line. Yay, great. Everything's where it should be. Yay, all right. It says cart, and that's a cart. And it's like...
I promise I didn't move any, I moved the pipe and drape card over so I could get a better picture. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like it blended in because it's gray, but or if one of y'all's colorblind, but I doubt it. So put it back. That's what we spent all week doing.
Look, it's labeled.
Whoa, there go the card tables.
With the box.
That's
a
not
great
card,
question.
That's not a card table at all. Isn't there a whole cart right next to it where all that goes? Come on. Hey. Everything's where it should be. Yay! Hey, everything's where it should be. Yay! Hi, you're good. I got your text. So we're not just like, busting your chops over stuff you did wrong. You guys totally put some stuff in the right place, and that's awesome. But
You put most stuff in the right place.
so just be consistent and put it where it goes, and make all that work you did for an entire week mean something. Hey, look, everything where it goes, mostly.
That card is hard to move the way it was put in.
Never mind, that cart's hard to move, yay. Okay, and this was yesterday or the day before?
Wait, what room is this?
Super deck.
When was that?
Yesterday.
Are you sure? Did you use a talking stick?
How are we supposed to know if we can't hear you?
That was Super Tech, and that was yesterday. I know because it says it on the PowerPoint.
Man, it's a good thing I spent all that time typing it. Oh, fun fact, those are the official UTA blue and orange. Well, you know what? That's the projector's fault. Man.
What's wrong with this picture?
Yeah.
Hey,
where do the podiums go?
well, then it's been there
In the
longer
bulk
than
closet?
yesterday.
Yeah. Where do all the podiums go upstairs?
Burr closet?
Yeah. So all the podium. That's Super Tech. That's not the bulb closet. That's something that goes in the bulb closet, not in Super Tech. There's not even any tape there.
Also, boom lights, I got rid of those.
They're back.
They're back. They won't die.
There's three normal mic stands that are like just out of frame, and those are the ones that should be used first.
What's wrong with this picture?
There's an AV cart right outside.
Yeah, and we'll get a better look at it.
No,
there's
that's-
no tape there yet, but still,
Yeah.
there is a pattern.
Okay, so
Look. It
Yeah.
fits.
So, yeah. Oh, and what do all these top of the carts have in common?
Projector.
Yeah, what else is on there? Trick question, nothing.
Power and a VGA cable.
Power and a VGA cable.
What's on that one? What else is in the skirt?
So for future reference, the only thing that goes on top of the projector is
On the cart.
On top of the projector, nothing.
right. Sometimes I forget my nouns. So the only thing that goes on the cart is the aforementioned
Power.
power butts, really.
Go back.
Right here?
2 butts. Go to butts. I want to see butts.
Sorry, sorry. For the record, Wolf wants to see butts.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Who did this? Anybody in here?
Who's responsible for the butts?
Okay, so everybody in here is either a technician or a building supervisor, correct? Or better. So you are responsible for what the people underneath you do. Which means that if none of you did this, then one of the building crew did it, which means you were... Who did it? You did it. Was there anything wrong in the room when you wrote butts? No. Okay.
That was me on the way out from training going, oh, hey, look, they put the dry erase board up.
All right.
And I just wrote it. because I
Well,
wanted to.
In the future, if you have time to write butts, you have time to clean the room.
The room was clean. This was Wednesday.
All right.
Butts for no reason. Butts for no reason at all.
You were at the training? What was the first thing that happened when we went to training?
The room was awesome.
No, what happened was...
Oh no, somebody...
Talking stick.
Yes. All right, I got it. No, what happened on Wednesday was that we went in there and I immediately said, why is this here? Why is this here? Why is this here? And
True.
before we went to Carlisle, we put everything back. So when we got, and then we did the whole training thing, we got a whole bunch of stuff out, we put it all back, right?
Accurate.
And then I wrote butts on the whiteboard.
Also true, and I
So
didn't snitch
that
on you.
podium-
Number for butts has been found.
Right. The
Brian Butts.
so that podium that was there,
Yeah.
those boom mics, that's all post Wednesday.
That came in Wednesday evening?
Yeah.
Yes, no, maybe? What came in Wednesday evening?
The podium had to be there. The podium came back into SuperTech after Wednesday.
Also, I need to mention the AV card, the laptop wasn't locked.
Yeah.
And,
And the cable locks are right there by the door.
Oh, where was the laptop out?
it was in the Paladuro
Oh,
lounge. I was working the night, so if I hadn't taken back into the Super Tech, someone might have taken the laptop and
You set that up,
whatever.
didn't you? In Paladuro, the laptop that day. when
Hi,
you
during my
went-
supervisorship yesterday,
Same
Ali
time
found
stuff.
a tech iPad just lying like in the center of Polydiro, and he handed it over to me. Like it was just there for
Just
hours.
walked out.
Interesting. Did you hear what you just said?
I did not.
Like Ali found a blue iPad lying in the center of Polydiro, like for hours. Like it was just lying over there
When was that?
yesterday.
Who worked in Paladuro yesterday?
That would be Thursday. Yeah.
What?
The iPad was found in Paladuro.
Yeah, just sitting in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna tape it to you.
When?
Yes.
Yesterday.
Probably after 4:30.
Yeah.
Oh, alright. I wasn't there.
All right.
So that was you?
No, I got here at 9 or 8.
Oh, wait.
We found
Who
out
was
right?
here yesterday that early? It was Michael.
Oh. He has had a history of leaving the iPad in places where he
I'm
shouldn't.
gonna tape it to Michael.
Maybe he should just get paper from now on.
Maybe.
I'm innocent.
Here, Michael, it's not hundreds of dollars if he leaves paper. It's just sad for the environment. Okay.
You say that, but once we ran in the trees, we like, if only Michael would have.
We wouldn't be
Brian.
in this predicament.
During training,
Yes.
you had highlighted that you went over OTAPs and what it's for and why it's mandatory.
Yes.
Nana, did Brian go over OTAPs and what it's for and why it's mandatory?
It was at the very end when we were going back to SuperTech. Yeah.
And did he mention that it's every Friday? Yeah. At noon? Yeah. Okay.
I specifically said it is mandatory.
Yeah. All right. Just got a text. I was unaware where the meeting was and it wasn't in my when to work. It doesn't go in when to work.
I also mentioned it wasn't in when to work, didn't I?
It does not go in when to work because that's just going to clutter up when to work.
This was immediately following the whole, like, if you have to, set your schedules at when to work for a time you can't work so that we don't have to go through that whole charade. And then I went, oh, by the way, there's no taps that's not in the when to work. So.
All right. So on the record, OTAPs, mandatory, was covered during training. I know that these technicians were there and they are not here. Missing 2 of them.
So that's how that made us feel.
Yeah, they're right there.
I'm sorry, my butts made you feel bad.
Yeah. Your butt. I can't say that. Ah!
This is going on YouTube. It's immortalized.
I'm aware.
Brian Hasty. Hasty butts. His butts make us sad. Okay.
Daytime technician. This is for everybody in this room. Does anybody know what our daytime technician is, or what they're for, or why they're here? Somebody guess. Just take a stab. Has anybody noticed the daytime technician being here? Yeah. Then one of you, please take a stab at what their purpose is. Let's pass the talking stick down.
The daytime technician sets up for events later that evening, possibly, in any daytime projects.
Absolutely. So this is to alleviate the burden that has previously been on you guys as the building supervisors, because you got pushed into setting up and tearing down tech out of nowhere because I didn't have somebody on the schedule. There was no regular daytime technician shift.
We had 3 techs, so you know.
We only had 3. From now on, every day, either from 1 to 5:30 or from 2 to 6:30, there will be a daytime technician on staff to handle all tech-related issues that come up. And any setup for later in the evening that needs to be done, that's our daytime tech. So if something doesn't get done at night, or it takes you until 4 a.m. and something's still not set up, leave a note. And if it's something we can get to with the daytime technician, that's a project for them. Techs that are here, I think only 4 of you. If you are scheduled to be the daytime technician, then it's just, you come in, you stay for the full shift. Don't leave just because you don't have anything to do immediately. I will find something for you. It's easy as that.
Cool. Training.
Everybody should have, or most people should have one of these. This is the technician training document, version 1. There are 2 separate trainings for technicians. They are each going to be broken down into 2 more separate training sessions. So 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B. Anybody who is looking to learn anything about being a tech, which I highly recommend all of you know how to do everything on this sheet, because it is now part of your job description. You are welcome to attend a training session. These will eventually be run once a month.
Can I have the talking stick real quick? One thing I like about this, under other duties as assigned, on the right-hand side all the way down to the bottom, it says building crew is not your bitch. That also goes for the CIC. I've talked to Stephanie about them calling, and for example, there's a cleanup, somebody vomited somewhere, and they call for the housekeeping, and they don't answer the radio because they never answer the radio, and they turn around and call building supervisor and says, hey, there's a vomit, come spill it up, clean it up.
Don't spill it.
Yeah.
Especially your own.
So I've asked Stephanie to relay that information too, that if anybody can take care of anything, just go ahead and take care of it. Don't default all of a sudden into building supervisor. Our lab tech is missing for our OIT computer lab upstairs. What do? I don't know, call the building supervisor. He can fix it. Sorry, that's just a little rant on my part.
Oh, and this is, that note is in there for the technicians. My first week, I teched an event, I attended an event that had a technician, and somebody asked for a table to be moved. Not a table to be brought in, not a table to be taken out, a table to be moved. And I don't remember which tech it was. I think it was Michael. That he radioed for building supervisor to move a table in the room where he was teching.
Was it a big heavy table with a bunch of stuff already on top of it?
I don't think so, no. It was just an empty 6-foot table.
Oh.
But had it had stuff on it, he could have easily radioed for help. But no. Radio for building supervisor to move a table. You guys are not slaves to technicians. So I'm going to try and train them to stop asking you guys to do everything that they can do.
Aw, thanks.
But these training sessions right now, we're kind of cramming them in where we can. Everybody in this room has already missed session 1 just because I wasn't aware that Rhett wanted you guys to attend. Session 2.
Oh, really? Just noticing 4 people. Yeah. Just noticing with 4 people last time that why are you tearing up this tape? It's distracting. Anyway, that even with at least the way that I was doing it, that it may be hard to like scale with a whole bunch of people because you really, I noticed when you want to learn to do the tech stuff, I could tell you how to do it all day, but it's really just having to do it.
Yeah.
And with 4 people there trying to work on one setup, too many hands in the pot, you know.
If we have Carlisle Suite reserved in the future or Rio, then you can pull multiple carts over.
Okay.
And set up multiple presenter packages or multiple lecturer packages.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that because,
that's
especially if we're gonna have more than 4 people.
Absolutely, and this again, this is your first time running a training schedule like this, so there's room for improvement.
Thinking out loud, could they shadow like a light hang or a evening tech shift or something?
Well, shadowing is going to be separate from training.
Cool.
But
That
lighting
and
stuff is covered
yeah,
in 1B.
Okay.
and that with lighting is that's kind of limited by how many people we can fit on the lift at once, as well as how many people are comfortable with going up on the catwalk and things of that nature.
Cool.
A little harder.
They're the
Red,
worst.
did you have anything you wanted to address with your employees about the training?
No.
You get to spend more time with me.
Yeah, Brian Butt Tasty. Yeah.
All right.
Are you guys done with training?
Almost.
I think so.
Oh yeah. There's gonna be like you walk in, butts everywhere. Butts as far as the eye can see. It'll do nothing but help make your jobs easier. Because sometimes there's a little magical time where there's no tech available or you're the only one here.
Especially Tuesday and Thursday morning right now, the impossible shift.
Yeah, for sure. So it's just super helpful to know how to do everything, or especially if the tech needs help in a pinch, if something random pops up.
So the reason that you have these training sheets is anything you don't know, put your name on this sheet, circle it or note it somehow, and either get it back to Rhett or myself, and then we'll know who needs to do what in training.
Before we show them what's going on next week.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey!
Pass me the talking stick. Guys, next week is the first week of multiple weeks in a row that's going to suck. Y'all are going to get hours, you're going to make some money, and that's going to be great. But there's a lot of shit that we're going to have to do in the coming weeks between now and the end of the semester. So in an effort to win your affection, I have offered you sweet cookies.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of weird shifts. So, among others.
Keyword a lot.
Oh no, they changed my formatting. Okay, there we go. Rue set up every single Rue. So next week there's an event called ACES, which takes place one day on Wednesday.
They have the whole building.
Yeah.
They booked the whole building for 8 days for that one-day event.
Right, exactly.
Hey, if you guys are done with the cookies, pass them down. I'm ready for some sweet cookies.
So next week is going to be super wacky. So here's a little rundown. When we publish the schedule later today, this will help you come to terms with it.
The schedule is going to be terrifying.
You get to ride on a truck with me one time, if you lucky few. Some of you will get to drive a van, some of you get to drive a truck, some of you will do the fastest turnover known to man in Bluebonnet. Some of you will work overnight, some of you will fall in battle. No, that's not true. Totally, yeah, I'll take a cookie. I will eat like 5 more later. Anybody else want a cookie? because I'm putting it in front of you to tempt you indeed even more. So Sunday, which I will have to add a few more dudes onto. For Sunday night, we are setting everything up for Wednesday.
We are doing light hang and tech setup on Monday.
I have every...
I was about to ask about that because I know we're supposed to be here.
Well, he looked at me like he was going to ask.
Well, I was going to ask because I know this is more having to do with this week's schedule and saying I know we're supposed to be here like from like 10 to 7 I think on Sunday. So was that in any way affected this, or that's totally separate? Okay.
So Monday and Tuesday there will be no changing room setups. Everything will be done Sunday night. Monday, we've got an off-site university club. There's going to be a light hang and bluebonnet. The techs will then come in and do all the tech for every single room upstairs. So Sunday night, my guys are doing all tables and chairs, stages, and all that good stuff. And the following day, techs are doing all the
and
tech
Monday,
stuff.
Do you want to tell them the story about when you were a building supervisor and you worked ACES?
Oh my gosh. Okay, which, aren't there 2 stories? Because is that the balloon arch and the thing?
No, the balloon arch is back.
Okay. You will... Yeah. You will notice on EMS, there is a byline under every single room that says, "Don't touch it." I am the reason for that. Kind of. I'm half the reason for that. Here's what happened. We do a walkthrough the night before, and it's one of those things where they look at every room and they make sure it's exactly up to par. So I, being the building supervisor at the time, walked through with the lady, made extensive notes on every single room and what needed to be changed for the following day. I did those changes. The following morning, the morning supervisor saw on EMS that everything was wrong. Everything was different from what it was supposed to be. So, I changed everything to how she wanted it the night before. Everything was changed to what was wrong the day after. The morning of the event? The morning of the event.
And she shows up at 6:30.
She shows up at 6:30 in the morning. The last person she had talked to was yours truly. I said, absolutely. You know, I turned on the charm. You know, we'll do everything possible. I will do the changes myself, which I did. So she saw at 6:30 in the morning, nothing had been done because it had been changed back.
This was when Sarah Drishler was here.
Yeah.
So this is like 4-5 years ago. This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
And every year since that year, this lady has brought up the absent-minded building supervisor who lied to her and said he would do all the changes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy would you say she was?
This woman goes from unpleasant to bitch. And those are her 2 moods. And that's it. Cameron knows. He's worked with her before. Tell us, Cameron, how is she to work with?
She's very picky. She's very picky and just constantly asks questions and wants things a certain way. So.
To be immortalized. To be immortalized on the internet for all time, her name is Jane Doe. She is of average height and has average hair color.
Nondescript physical attributes.
On a scale of like the Susan scale for questions and stuff, and just be, okay.
Susan Doe.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to repeat that for the mic, but you heard the question.
Yes.
Of, you know, figuring her as a baseline, where does this person we've been speaking about fall?
It goes to 11.
Oh, great.
How many of y'all have worked with, I guess I can say her name. Should I? No. Never mind. False question. You had a question.
Is this still going on YouTube?
Talking
Huh?
I just want to know, is this still going on YouTube?
Guys,
Yes.
Yes.
It's talking stick.
Guys, look, the whole point is we're going to set it up so that you guys are successful. But this woman is very, she pays attention to the minutia.
There's like a little lesson here too. Clients, especially repeat clients, remember. So here I am as a professional staff member. A month ago, it's just Bear and I meeting with this woman. I am the supervisor 5 years ago that was lazy and lied to her. I am now the professional staff member in charge of the people that had my job. And I am meeting with this woman 5 years later, and Bear has told me that every single time she brings me up.
And at the end of the meeting, I pointed out to her that Rhett was, in fact, the student worker.
Thanks, yeah. So we went the entire meeting, and she didn't remember my face. So she didn't say it, and I was like, I'm off the hook. I'm fine. And I was, I was like, yeah, everything will be great. We'll do it exactly to your specifications. And like 5 years later, I dodged the bullet. She doesn't remember my face. She doesn't remember my name. Everything's cool. And Bear goes, hey, do you remember that time when? And I immediately I'm like, no. That's the guy.
The thing is, I told her the story. I told her what happened the year it happened. The year afterwards, she brought it up, and I told her the story again. The year after that, she brought it up, and I told her the story again. So this year, after I told her that Rhett was the guy, he told the story. So let's see if it gets brought up next year.
Yeah. Hopefully. So it's also kind of a cautionary tale. Clients remember. They remember good service. They remember when everything's right, but they also can remember when things get jacked up.
They especially remember bad service.
Yeah, it's like, I forgot what the phrase is, but sometimes no news is good news. Especially for big events, you let them in, you don't hear anything, they leave. Everything was cool.
Either that means everything went perfectly, or they broke something severely and tried to get out before somebody noticed.
Yeah. So just a little reminder as you're kind of going about your business, meeting with clients, double checking rooms and stuff. 5 years later, she remembered what I did and brought it up every year. So story time over. So that's Monday. Tuesday. It's my William Shatner. Tuesday. Day off for everybody except building supervisors. Sorry. And daytime techs. So you're basically babysitting Tuesday.
Make sure nobody changes anything.
Yeah, and
our walkthrough, she'll change some stuff.
yeah, so we will again be doing the walkthrough. I will be sweating bullets the whole time. Yeah, and that's the reason why we set it up so early, is so that everything is there when we do the walkthrough on Tuesday to see if we need to make any changes for the following day. What the?
Wednesday.
Oh, what in the? Wednesday. Aces is all day until 6 p.m.
About 6:30.
So, and she will get here probably at 6:30 in the a.m.
She sneaks in.
She sneaks in. It's weird. What's that? Yeah.
Wait, I can't hear you.
He's asked if the registration started at 6:30.
Yeah, I was just checking if the registration starts at 6:30.
Oh, I guess.
Is that because you know because you're a grad student?
Oh, is he going to the
No, I'm part of the event.
I didn't see it.
So, and on the same day as the all-day ACES events, I and a few intrepid souls will be doing a delivery and setup to Texas Hall. And for tech stuff, there's also a Rosebud rep plot that's getting done.
Is that?
There's Rosebud Rep Plot and the TEDx setup.
Don't worry, I'm working on a plot for you.
Okay, thank you. Well, the
We
one,
have 6 new leaders.
I know that the original plot has still not been completed because we haven't been able to do the alcoves yet.
That's right.
Okay, good. The all-day floating technician, is that like multiple people being the floating technician?
The schedule has not been published, but as of right now, Octavio's in the morning. David is in the middle. David.
Where's David?
He's not here.
Not here.
The firm will be here as a daytime technician to assist David should he be needed.
Where? Who is he?
You know, the new
If
guy.
only we saw him.
Yeah. He was told at training to be here, and they're going to have to talk to me, and they're not going to like it. Who has had to sit in my office so far? Only you, right? Only Hermione has had to sit in my office and talk to me. Was it a pleasant experience? No. Okay.
He might have said no.
No.
Yeah. Do you want to come back and sit in my office and talk to me again?
I don't want to.
Thank you. That's how it should be. Like let's not end up in a situation where I have to call you into my office and close the door and talk to you. But that's what's going to happen now because 2 of my techs were told to be here specifically at training. I have confirmation from 2 different sources and they're not here.
I'm very reliable. Source-wise.
Well, before Thursday, before we get to Thursday, it is.
Have fun on the
is-
job, man.
Wednesday is also a techpocalypse. I
Fantastic.
believe every technician I have will be on shift.
Now, the crew delivery to Texas Hall, is that just like building crew? Building crew?
Yes.
There's no tech involved?
No tech is involved.
All right.
Just me and the boys.
As of right now, Wednesday is scary. It's Octavio in the morning. Brian, you're here 9 to 5 that day doing the lights.
All right.
David will also be doing tech. Michael is here to float and help where need be. And then Ian, Nana, and Taylor will be tearing down everything. Every room. All the tech needs to come back down and get put up.
And if that stuff's not put away appropriately in Super Tech, based on how much time I spent in spring break in that room, you might have to talk to him, but you'll definitely be getting shit from me, that's for sure.
And you talk about port maintenance.
Yes, I can. Well, I mean, that's a little bit harder. I mean, obviously, we need that pegboard. We really need that pegboard quickly. So them being wrapped is more important than where they end up. I mean, they got to be in the crates, not on the floor. But
And in Super Tech, not
yes, please.
anywhere.
And Wednesday night will be a big night because we are also clearing all the upstairs rooms. When I say clearing, that means super empty and vacuumed because they're doing carpet cleaning. So everything needs to be cleared. Everything needs to be cleared. Everything needs to be vacuumed. Everything needs to be cleared. Look at all this stuff on Thursday. Early morning poster board pickup and Bluebonnet. Those are those huge things that we don't touch, thank goodness, that central receiving will come and pick up. There are enough of those to fill up the entire, is it just Bluebonnet South? South and Center.
Takes them 3 trips on the box truck.
Takes them 3 trips on a box truck. So that's exciting. And there is a 10 to 12, maybe 10 to 1 turbo turnover in Bluebonnet. So we have, is it 2 hours or 3 hours?
Others too. But really, they're going to show up at noon and they know that we're still going to be working. The nice thing is they can clear Bluebonnet North
right
on Wednesday night.
So we're going to have a 2-hour turnover in Bluebonnet Center South to change an empty room into a thing. So you'll see some familiar faces.
We can build a stage in Bluebonnet North Wednesday night and then just roll it over Thursday.
And we have a mystery TEDx rehearsal in Rosebud.
Though we know more about that.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have an offsite in University Club. We have 49 Tech in Bluebonnet, and we have another breakdown and reset in University Club, and then we have a pickup and reset in Texas Hall. So a lot of driving.
When is that TEDx rehearsal? Do you at least know the time frame?
Yeah, we'll talk more about that.
All right.
And Friday, which is in all lower caps, we clear everything in Bluebonnet on Thursday night for carpet cleaning. So not only clearing, but vacuuming. And then a TEDx dress rehearsal, and we're back.
Hey.
Here. Yay. And Saturday is TEDx. Oh, it's 10 till 1, so if you have class, do that thing. Here's a blank slide. Yeah. So that is Hell Week number 1. Yay.
Fantastic.
So,
Personal note of mine for everybody in this room, especially anybody who works in the morning, whenever you get here, check all the rooms. Make sure your stuff's locked down and not broken and hanging out all over the floor. And if it is, just make a note of it. I'm not asking you to go in there and take time and clean it up. Just notice it. Check the closets when you come in. If crap looks like it did in those first few slides, well, A, fix it, and B, make a note of that. Also, for closing supervisors from now on, since there's always one of you here to close the building, go to Bluebonnet and Rosebud and make sure the projectors are off before you leave the building.
Were they off last night? No, they were not?
No, Rosebud was left on overnight.
Okay.
So some of you may not have known that, but here going forward, while you're checking all the doors to be locked, just, pop your head in and Bluebonnet and Rosebud, make sure everything's off. Because the bulbs have a shelf life, and when we leave them off for no reason, it wastes power and it just hastens the time where we need to buy new stuff, which is not fun.
I asked that because Bluebonnet every now and then kind of gets out of sync with itself, and sometimes the projectors don't turn off when you hit power off, but there should be no reason why Rosebud was set for overnight. So.
Yeah. Rosebud was set up for a movie night, and there was no technician working it, and so we just set it up. And then whenever the client finished, they just left the room.
I see.
So,
yeah. So that's rundown of Hell Week number 1. It's going to be super fun, super weird. There's not going to be any crew member shifts Monday. They are going to cry. No, on Tuesday there's not going to be any crew shifts. They're going to cry, and there's nothing they can do about it. Deal with it. Yeah, on Monday night there's no closing shift, so they're going to cry about that too. Nothing I can do about it.
They'll get their
Sorry,
hours.
guys. Yeah. Well. So, yay. So that's it, and we can. Is there anything else before you want to?
I think on Sunday that week, she said they had 8 days, right? But you only went over one Sunday.
They can't. We canceled some of them.
Oh, okay.
Does anybody here have questions? Use the stick.
The sliding door near pod just pops open now and then. And 2 days back, it was popped again at night 12 o'clock. And some, 2 guys sneaked in. They were sitting in the area near Starbucks.
You did it right. You got to turn in a work order, right? Make it an emergency work order. Plus, you wrote about it in the building report. David Albert, the director, came in this morning and told me the building reports are looking a lot better, and he appreciates things being documented as well as work orders being called in directly. And I think you actually said you may have talked to the police too. So you did that. You did that the right way. And then you can ask Cameron the next morning. I asked him to go down there and check the doors, and he checked it, and they're operating just fine.
Yeah, I pushed it then. It was still not working properly though.
Okay. Did you? So, well, you said you called in a work order and you talked to the police.
No,
So-
not the police for that. The police was for a lady slipped down in the shorthorn area, on the stairs.
Oh, okay.
That was for that thing.
So did you leave the building unsecure then?
No, I pushed it, locked it properly inside. It was not opening,
Uh-huh.
so I just pushed it,
Oh, but then
So you pushed it on track, and everything was cool.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you did that right.
Anybody else? Any questions? Comments, concerns?
Jokes. Witticisms.
I just want to know, if
Proverbs.
the short-on employees, if they are working overnight after 12, so what do we tell them? Like Tuesday night, I know they publish, so they're working overnight. So
Don't they have their own entrance and exit though? off
yeah,
the
but
side?
it's through the UC. They usually use the dock entrance.
Wait, who is this?
The short-on employees.
Oh,
the small dock. Because
Yeah, the small
doesn't
dock,
their stairwell or whatever
Yeah.
come up
Yeah.
from the basement?
well, they have an exterior one as well.
Yeah, but they
It's like
usually-
right out here.
But they usually use that one.
All right. Well, if you're closing the building and you find somebody walking through it, tell them to get the hell out. And if they say, "Oh, I work here," then tell them to go back to their office and don't wander around the damn building because we're closed.
Okay.
And if they give you any lip about it, call the police.
Because sometimes they're weirdos that just wait around and just to walk in the building. Hobos and such, sometimes.
Yeah, we do get that from time to time.
Yeah. So, I guess you want to split off and do a thingy?
Yeah.
Hey, before we split up, I want to talk about earlier when we were going through the pictures, and it's like, hey, who did this? Who did what? We're not going through all this stuff and talking about all this stuff to play the blame game, all right? I don't want this to devolve into an elementary school recess session where all the little kids come and tell mommy and daddy and the teacher, Mrs. Johnson, so-and-so pushed me. It's about creating an atmosphere of accountability, okay? This is why we're talking about it. And it's not only so that we know who does stuff wrong. It's not about knowing who does stuff wrong. It's about all of us doing stuff right And sometimes things get done because you're in a hurry and you're working fast and you're working hard and you're just trying to get things accomplished so you can get out of here. All right. When one of your colleagues, coworkers, or cohort does that, help them out. Okay? Who opened on Thursday? Did you see Super Tech? Later in the morning, was that after we had already been up there?
I think so. I'm not sure.
All right. So when you see something like that, you know, take a picture of it if you want, document it if you want, send it to Rhett and Wolf. That's fine. But then help a buddy out. All right?
Yeah, they're not my problem. Just really doesn't help anybody out.
Yeah, this isn't an issue of who made the mess. Oh, I didn't do it. I don't care. If you see the mess, clean the mess up.
See it, own it. All right, guys?
In fact, I mean, the biggest thing worth making a note is that when we asked who did what was done in SuperTech, Humaydi owned it. He said he did it. That's great. I would have been way happier, or way less happy had he tried to pin that on someone else and just said, oh, I don't know, I didn't do it. It wasn't me, it was my guys. Oh, you guys supervised them, so.
The worst answer is always going to be, I don't know, or it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Humaydi owned it. Ian owned this mess that was up here. Brian owned butts. All right?
I still like the video right now. I don't get anything wrong.
So, guys, help each other out.
No, didn't.
All right? Y'all are a team. Y'all are going to do awesome together or you're going to hate life together. All right? You guys good with that? Okay. Now I think it's breaking a technician and building supervisor time.
Yay. Yeah,
we
if
have-
you guys have class or whatever, it's totally cool. Just FYI.
And we're going to stop the recording now too, right?
Yes.
So double tap.
Nah.
Stop, whatever you gotta do.